Welcome back to the Hellcat rebuild, and today's video is sponsored by Mopar Online Parts. Not only did they help with the parts for the build, but they also helped me tremendously when U-Ship lost the parts. They worked with me hand in hand to get everything resolved, and also they, anything I needed, any question I had, if I had a part number I had a question about, they were just top notch. Other than that, their prices are extremely low. Anything you're gonna find from the dealer in your town, they are most likely gonna beat it. I mean, everything that I found online, everything I found in town at dealerships, their prices were like, I don't know, they were like 30% lower. They were a significant cost difference. So check them out. The link is in the description. And now continue on with the Hellcat. As you saw in the last video, the car came back from the body shop. I painted the engine bay and it is ready finally for assembly. Like I said in the last video also, I'm utilizing a lot of parts from the Scat Pack. If you would like to support the Hellcat build, but don't want to get nothing in return, I have these pop sockets available. They're a Hellcat pop socket for your phone, and you can purchase them on my website, or if you want to sign up for my Patreon, anybody that donates $10 or more will get a free one. Your choice, but it does help the build out. So go snag yourself one of these pop sockets. The goal for this video is to get this thing on the ground rolling. My second shipment should be in, and I should be able to, the radiators and everything are gonna be in the second shipment, or the second shipment. And then I could get this thing actually started running and driving with coolant and everything in it. So let's get to work, get this project back on track, and I can't wait to drive it, so let's get to work. Finished putting the suspension on the front of the car, and now it's sitting on the ground. I left all of these bolts for the suspension loose because I'm gonna have to do alignment on this thing, and it's kind of a pain, so they're gonna have to pretty much loosen them all anyway. The upper shock towers have travel back and forth, and all the arms do as well. So what I'm going to do now is I need to get the steering rack of this thing. But to do that, I need to lift the engine up because I have it on this dolly down here. And these don't have any lifting points. So I'm going to go out in the junkyard and find me a nice seat belt so I can lift this thing up. Found some seat belts, or a seat belt, in a caddy, and it's all messed up already. So gonna just, the retractor doesn't work, so it must have gotten in a wreck. Gonna cut this bad boy off. This knife is sharp. You never talk shit about junkyard knives, they're always sharp. Seatbelt time.
Hope you don't drop that thing.
Drop what?
The engine.
These seatbelts aren't gonna, this will hold anything.
Hope you know your knots well.
I mean, I just double knotted it, I guess. I mean, I'm not tying a boat off at a dock. I mean, that knot looks like it will work, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I mean, if it's not, I'll see what happens. Oh, now we're back in business.
There you go.
Look like they're stretching or what?
Oh. I don't know if the balance is right. Nope.
I think the balance is a little off.
Yeah. It's coming. There you go. It's free.
Yeah, that's right. Talked to Dodge and they're like, yeah, how much to do alignment? They're like $60. I was like, how much to do a good alignment? He's like, that is a good alignment. I was like, it's probably not a good alignment, so.
Yeah, for $60.
So she is finally sitting on the ground by herself with no assistance from the lift. And now what I need to do is put all the HVAC stuff inside the car so I could run the AC lines, put the heat shield on the back of the firewall, and then I could stuff the engine in here. All the things.
So many things.
Gotta make sure you do everything in the right order. You have to take it all back apart. Back at the shop, it's a new day. I was going to put the engine and tranny in last night, but then there was this huge swarm of mosquitoes. My arm was covered in mosquitoes. I was like, no. So I went home. I'd rather deal with the heat than the mosquitoes. So we're back here, gonna throw the engine and tranny in. But before I do that, I need to throw the sound deadening / heat shield on the firewall. working on this for quite some time, got a lot of stuff in. You can see the engine is back in the bay. The drive shaft's connected to the tranny. I have brackets on this thing. I have the oil cooler on this thing. I have the windshield washer reservoir, the overflow for the supercharger cooler system. I still need to bolt the supercharger pump, the cooler pump in that bracket. And yeah, some miscellaneous stuff. One thing I did notice was the Scat Pack doesn't have the riv nuts in these holes, and they're like octagons. So I need to actually order those and riv nut those in. Not a big deal. The holes are already there. So that's just one thing that is different. It has the holes, just doesn't have the riv nuts in it. The next video, I am going to, you can see all this stuff on the front of the engine did get busted. I just have that loose because I wanted to check, make sure that that back snout wasn't busted. So I do have all of this stuff to replace it. So I will be replacing all the stuff, even parts that didn't seem like they're bad. This alternator, I probably could get away with just melting this little piece of plastic. This is the fan shrub plastic that got wedged in between the alternator pulley. I could get that out, but I just ordered a brand new alternator anyway. These alternators they have like a clutch in them, so I don't want to have to worry about anything with electricity. I mean, I don't want to have this car burn down to the ground. They already have enough issues with the tranny cooler lines popping and burning them to the ground. So yeah, so the next video, all that stuff's going to get replaced, get the brake lines all hooked up, and get the front header panel on, and get this thing actually 100% ready to sit on the ground and not ever have to be lifted up again for this this rebuild. So it is very close, but there are a few things. I also am going to change the oil. This oil has 1,200 miles on it, like I said before, and you know, it did get in an accident. That really doesn't matter, but it has been sitting, so I will change the oil before I start driving this thing. So this thing has come a long way, and it looks extremely good. That's gonna wrap up this episode of the Hellcat rebuild. And as you can see behind me, this is a car again. So it has suspension, it has drivetrain, the engine's connected to the tranny's connected to the drive shaft, the engine has an oil cooler. The only thing it's waiting on is radiator those miscellaneous parts that are coming Friday in the next shipment of parts that I ordered. So reordered. So once those parts come, I can get this thing running. In the next video, I am going to pretty much fix the engine. A lot of accessories and everything like that were busted from the accident. So I do have a new AC compressor, new alternator, all the serpentine belt system components just to be safe, and a few miscellaneous brackets. I have the heat exchanger for the supercharger cooler, stuff like that. So if you do like these videos, click that subscribe button, comment below, give this video a thumbs up, share this with your friends if you like it and think they'll like it, and see you guys next time.